Please be seated.
This is the case of Booker versus Chausse Booker.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone.
Good day, Your Honor.
Ms. Booker, you say that since you were a young girl, your mother had always told you the man sitting next to me, Mr. Booker, was your father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then, when you were 13 years old, Mr. Chausse admitted he could be your biological father. Mrs. Chausse, you are Ms. Booker's mother.
Correct, Your Honor.
And you admit you were in an open relationship with your ex-husband, Mr. Booker, while also seeing Mr. Chausse. Though
correct.
you still believe Mr. Booker is your daughter's biological father, you say you can't be 100% sure due to the circumstances surrounding her conception. So, Ms. Booker, let me ask you, explain how you first started to question that Mr. Booker was really your biological father.
I first started noticing at a very young age. I have two older sisters, and they're both very skinny with blonde hair and blue eyes. I look absolutely nothing like them, and this is their biological father, Mr. Booker. Mr. Chausse, I have his eyes, I have his nose, I have his hair, I look just like his sons. We have everything in common, and my whole entire life, I knew I was different. My sisters would even tell me I was adopted all the time.
They would never tell you you were adopted.
Yes, they did, Mom. They told me all the time it was just a joke.
No, they did not tell you you were adopted.
They would tell
Your
me.
Honor, no.
Okay, Mom.
Well, I mean, you know, siblings can be cruel in that way anyway, but still, it probably would get under your skin if inside you already felt different. And there was also physical evidence that backed up their claim. So, Ms. Booker, when your sisters were saying that, how did you feel?
I just knew in my heart that my mother was hiding something from me, and I could never get her to admit it until I finally pulled Mr. Chausse aside, and I said, look at me, just look in my eyes, just tell me the truth, and say I'm not yours. I dare you. And he said, there's a possibility, but your mother's reassured me that it's... And I've always been told that they never even met before I was born.
Your mom told you she never even met Mr. Chausse until after you were born.
Correct, Your Honor.
So she gave you the information that would make you believe there's no possible way he could be your biological father.
Correct.
And yet, as you're growing and maturing and you're looking at this man, you're saying, I look like him.
Exactly, and she claimed it was nature versus nurture. That because he raised me, I was starting to look like him, and as a child, I believed it.
And that's what I still believe to this day, Your Honor.
So at what point were you able to confirm that your mother, in fact, was intimate with Mr. Chausse before you were born?
She was downstairs doing dishes. I remember like it was yesterday. My father was in bed, and I said, Dad, look at me in my eyes and tell me that there's no absolute chance. And he said, there might be a small one, but she has reassured him. And I said, how is there a chance if you guys have never met before I was born? And he said, we did meet, but all we did was have dinner at a hotel.
Wow. And you weren't buying that?
I was 13, I wasn't 5 anymore.
All right, so then what did you say to Mr. Booker?
I called Mr. Booker and I asked him his own opinion. Do you think Mr. Chausse could be my father? And he said, there's a big chance that he could because your mother was seeing both of us at the same time.
And that was the first moment you heard this?
Yes.
And it confirmed your belief and your suspicions?
Yes.
So, Mr. Booker, you were married to Ms. Booker's mother.
Right, Your Honor.
And you were having challenges in the relationship.
At the time, Your Honor, I didn't realize we were having challenges in our relationship. I mean, to me, everything was fine.
How could you not realize we were having challenges in our relationship? You cheated on me.
I didn't cheat on you.
Yes, you did.
No. I never cheated on you.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did, Steve.
No.
How did you end up divorced from Mr. Booker and married to Mr. Chausse?
Mr. Booker suggested a swingers club to try to fix our marriage.
A swingers club to fix the marriage?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Now, I did not want to do this at all. I had to get half drunk to be honest with you, to walk into this place. But he said, as a last-ditch effort, Eileen, let's try it. I said, okay. I had kids. I didn't want to be divorced. So we tried. And that is how I met my present husband. And he's my soulmate. We've been married together for going on October will be 28 years. And love him to death. Love him to death.
Wow, so Mr. Booker, this, I'm sure, was not in your plan if you're going to the swingers club to save your marriage, and next thing you know, your wife has met someone and married them that
Right.
didn't turn out too well, did it?
What happened, Your Honor, is that we sat down, talked about it together. You know, it was a mutual agreement that we would go to this club.
That's a
And
lie. No.
Mom, you've lied to me since I was a little girl. You told me you never met Dad
I
before
had
I
to
was
be
born.
drunk to walk into that place.
And how do I know?
And
Take my
so
word for
Well,
it.
why'd you go back?
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Ms. Booker, I want to ask you, your mom, you're upset with her, of course, because you believe she lied and said she never slept with Mr. Chausse until after you were born.
Yes, Your
But
Honor.
what other evidence did you have that would suggest that she's lying about what happened in the swingers club?
My mom gets caught in her lies, and she's a good woman. I love her, but she lies. First, they never met before I was born, and then they did meet, and then they just had dinner. And then dinner at a hotel, I put two and two together. My father confirmed they had sexual relations, and then all of a sudden that became 3 years before I was born. So if that's the case, why did they both get a divorce from their other parties and get together when I was 6 months and he came into my life?
Very good questions. Could not ask them better myself.
Yeah.
Miss Chausse, you hear your daughter. She's piecing
hear her.
together this story because she's gotten so many pieces over the years, but this is important to her.
I understand.
That's why we're here today, Your Honor, to try to free her, to try to tell the
Okay.
truth.
Yes.
And
And I would like for my daughter, not to interrupt you, honey, but I would like for my daughter to finally know the truth.
And I
Okay.
thank you
It's
for
been-
that.
So,
It's been eating her up
Miss
for
Chausse-
27 years.
right.
Yes.
As your daughter was growing up, you know, you told her Mr. Booker was her father.
Correct.
Now, was this because you had two other children with him and you didn't want her to feel like she was different? Or was this because you were trying to save your marriage? What was your reason for not being honest with her?
In what way, Your Honor? I don't understand the question.
In a major way, not telling her that there's a possibility that someone else could be her biological father.
Oh,
That,
that.
yes.
Okay. I didn't want my daughter to grow up feeling out of place, feeling not wanted, like you specified. And to me, she does look like Steve. That's what I see when I look at my daughter.
Not
You
from-
do.
Steve.
You see Mr. Booker when you look at your daughter.
I'm sorry, yes, Mr. Booker. Yes, Your Honor.
When you're pregnant, do you know in your own mind that this could be Mr. Chausse's baby or Mr. Booker's?
No, I don't.
You don't.
No, I don't.
So how is it you only thought Mr. Booker could be her biological father?
Well, we were breaking up at the time, Your Honor.
Were you trying to save the marriage by saying, this is your child as well, I'm pregnant, let's try to work this out? Because the truth is, if you wanted to be with Mr. Chausse anyway and he's your soulmate, then why wouldn't you just say, yes, let's go ahead and get a divorce because I've met my soulmate and I just happen to be having his baby?
My husband and I were on a break at that time.
You find out you're pregnant.
Right.
You know it could be Mr. Booker's or Mr. Chausse.
Right.
But you
Well, the truth-
decide, I'm going to say it's Mr. Booker's and I'm going to raise my daughter believing her entire life that she's Mr. Booker's child and that's the only possibility.
Right.
I need to understand why that decision.
The truth is, if I was afraid if I told my present husband that I was pregnant, that he would leave me.
Okay. And that's all I wanted to know.
Right.
When you say you were scared to tell the truth, that's an honest feeling, emotion that everybody in this room has felt about some situation at some point in time in their lives. Right?
Thank you.
And let's really keep it real. You know she felt displaced.
Yes.
Yes, we knew that.
Okay.
But we did not want her to. I did everything in my power. Excuse me.
To lie for 27
okay.
years. No.
I did not lie for 27 years.
Mom, you just admitted that you two were together at the same time for the first time to my knowledge today.
That's true.
Why, when I've asked you a million times like a broken record at home all the time, Mom, look at my face and can you lie to me, Mom? Is that my father?
I am not lying to you.
My father could have been living with me my whole life. And I was always his little girl, Mom, and it could have been that much more special to know that the guy who raised me had such a good life. I don't know why you would want to deny the truth, though.
I'm glad you had a good life. That's what we were trying to give you, was a good life.
So all you had to do was tell the truth on the 1,000 chances I gave you. That's all I asked.
We tried to give you the best life possible.
I had a great childhood, Mom, but then our relationship deteriorated because you lie.
Well, again, that's why we're here, is to try to get everything cleared out.
We understand, Mr. Chausse. That's exactly why we're here. We just want to understand this situation. And look, Ms. Booker, I understand you're hurt. I can see it in your eyes. I feel it coming from across the room, that this has been a lot for you.
It's just going to change a lot, just to know.
Well, I've always accepted her as my daughter. You know, when she was born, she looked just like my other kids. Identical, you know. I've always accepted her as my daughter. I know that she looks a little different now than when she was born, but...
Because you see the difference as well, and you always have.
I see that she's different from her sisters, yes.
Okay.
But as far as I'm concerned, she's still my daughter. I love her, you know.
That's beautiful. And Ms. Booker, your sister Diane, she submitted a video statement, and we'll hear from her now.
Hi, my name is Diane. I'm Susan's oldest sister. I believe my sister's biological father is Steve, my biological father, because that's what my mother has told me for all these years, and I've been the only person to stick up for my mother. And if the results come back that Steve is not her biological father, it would just break my heart. It would just feel like everything I was told my whole life was a lie.
So as we can see, your sister was convinced all these years. She truly believed what your mother told her.
Your Honor, she's especially upset about this because she feels that if I'm biological father, that she only has stepsisters.
We don't use the word step in our family.
It would be a half-sister.
We don't use the word half in our family.
No, our relationship wouldn't change. Her and I are so close. We just have a bond like no other. And that will always be my sister, and that will always be my favorite person in the world.
Right. And that's how I want it to stay, no matter what the results are.
So, Ms. Booker, how will this change your life if it's determined that Mr. Chausse is in fact your biological father?
I've always told my parents that I will get a DNA test one day. My father, Dennis, Mr. Chausse, wishes to be cremated, and I said, no, that's not gonna happen, because if you will not do it while you're alive, I will do it after you're not. That's how this whole thing began. And I told them, if the results come back that he is my father, it will be bittersweet. I'll be happy. It's the guy who raised me. I had a good childhood. But then again, I also told them I would never speak to them again because they had lied my whole entire life. And I don't know if I can get over that. I just don't know.
This is unfortunate because I can see how much this lie has affected you. And whether or not Mr. Chausse is your biological father, what you've found out today is that you have been lied to your entire life. And I know how much it's affected you. We should get the results so that we can put all of your questions and doubts to rest. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. In the case of Booker v. Chausse Booker, pertaining to whether Mr. Chausse or Mr. Booker is the biological father of Susan Booker, it has been determined by this court that Ms. Booker's biological father is Mr. Booker.
I'm sorry, Mom. Mom, I'm sorry for all the things I've said. I'm sorry.
I told you.
I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry, Mom, for everything I said.
It's okay. I love you.
I just didn't know.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Oh my God. So why can't I be skinny with blonde hair then?
You're beautiful. Anyway,
Hug him.
tall and brunette, you're still beautiful. Trust me. That's a nice daddy hug.
I can't believe it.
Mr. Booker, feel free to go stand with your daughter. There we
I
go.
can't believe it. That's crazy.
Well, I'll tell you what. This day has, I think, ended fairly well. I wish you all the best of luck. And remember, you're beautiful just the way you are. You understand? Court is adjourned.